Hello everybody and welcome to another list video. I'm here with Bryn and also everyone's favorite Russell. And today we are starting a new whenever series for these list videos as we did all the weapons and now we're doing skills. And the reason for that is no spoilers, but Bryn and I just finished recording the skills only campaign where we played with only skills exactly as it says on the tin. And I think now we are skill experts and we have ranked, we're going to be ranking all the skills. We're going to be starting with like the two that we played, which are Seeker and Survivor, because they're like, you know, the good ones. But I mean, there's good skills in every class, but they're like the skill classes.
Yeah,
where
they have more than like 6.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to dive in, and as always, if you disagree with our opinions, fair enough, you can let us know down in the comments, but as I said, we are now experts with this. I've never felt more in tune with skill cards. No. We got 13 Seeker skills, and our bottom rated one is Surprising Find. This is a 1 experience Fortune Research skill with Myriad. So for 1 experience, you get 3 1 wild icons, but they do nothing on their own. You have to find them while searching your deck. It's a research card, but when you find it by researching, you can put it aside, and you must commit to the next skill test you perform, and if it's successful, you draw a card. Max 1 research ability per search. I think in a research deck, these cards, like, they have a good use. But, like, I think a big thing for skills, and it's going to come with, for my personal rankings on this list, is that you kind of want to be able to use them when you want to use them at all times, right? Or the effect needs to be so good that you want to use it, like, you don't care when you use it, right? Because the effect is just so powerful. And I think that, like, most of the time, it's probably not worth the effort, and you'd rather just find Shocked Rabbi, Astounding Revelation. Because otherwise, it's just like one wild symbol.
Yeah. For me, this one gets to live at the bottom because there's exactly one deck where it's ever good. Mm-hmm. And it is actually kind of actively not good in every other deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my opinion, and that's why we're right.
Yeah. All right, number 12, we got Plan of Action. It looks very similar, commits for a wild. It's practice. If this skill is during or before the first action of this turn, Plan of Action gains a brain and a foot. If it's between the first and third actions of the turn, it draws a card if it succeeds. And if it's during or after the third action of this turn, it gains Fist and Book.
Yeah. This one for me gets to live here because it doesn't work the way that it sounds like it should, where you get the brain and the foot during the Mythos step, but you do not, because that's not part of the turn. So, anyway,
I
hate that. Card's like not terrible, but
I feel like I don't play it for that reason, because like most of the time, like the only time the text on it matters is if you're evading an enemy for the top line, right? Otherwise, like my first action, like I get rid of a treachery card in front of me, but there's like better options to help you with that.
Yep.
I still think that this was like in their, like when they were playing it, it like did what everyone thinks it should do. But then it was like rules as written doesn't, right? Because like would this card be so crazy if it gave you a brain during the Mythos phase? I don't think so. Right? It just
probably not.
No. I don't think so.
I just don't like that.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Let's go to number 11. And at this point now, like I think that like 11 on are
they're
like
all pretty good.
Yeah, they're all like good skills. We have analysis here. Commits for a wild. After revealing Chaos token for the skill test, you may place one of your clues on your locations to cancel the Chaos token, return to the Chaos bag, and reveal a new one. A nice safety net, but you're really, I think, like for me, I only play analysis when I'm looking at protecting a combo, like Ancient Stones, for example. Like this just means like I'm gonna pass that test when I'm trying to like decipher a really big Ancient Stones.
Yeah, like I mean, it protects your deductions or whatever from the auto fail, but ultimately it makes them do nothing as well because all they do is put the clue back into your pocket.
Yeah.
This one's mostly here, at least for me, because it's very narrow. Mm-hmm. Like you will likely know when you want this. You're not going to include this just because you've built a yellow deck and you need to figure out how to do your thing.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Nice and simple on that one. Still, like I said, though, these are like cards that are like, I think...
Probably good. I mean, anything with practice in the type line can't be that bad.
Yeah. All right, number 10, we got Curiosity. Commits for a brain in a book, and while you have 4 more cards in hand, it gains brain book. While you have 7 more cards in hand, it gains brain book instead.
Yeah.
So what are all the versions from this cycle? So we have Steadfast and Guardian, which gives you, if you have...
Yeah, it's like, what, 15 or whatever health?
Health sanity. There is Brain, which is the the doomed one, right?
Yeah, there's the... it's not Brain, it's not Prophesy.
It's just Wild, yeah. What's the Rogue one?
The Rogue one is Money. It's Cunning. It's like foot and book.
And then the Survivor one is really strong, like, able-bodied.
So
no,
strong.
Yeah, don't have any items in front of you.
Yeah, that guy's impossibly good.
Because I was gonna say, I think Curiosity is a great skill if you're in the deck for it.
Even if you're not, it's still pretty okay because it's like kind of a perception, but kind of a guts. Trade-off is that you don't
replace it.
Get a card.
Yeah,
but it's like the one you need right now.
I think it's like if you're not a big hand deck and you're like looking to like fill a spot at level 0, Curiosity will do a great job for that. Yeah, I mean, like, once again, not much to like skills. Also, like, for the most part, the ones that just add icons. Like, this is my new big brain thinking for like a card like this, is that they're kind of like a bad ward protection, right? Like, that's like what they do, right? They basically just protect you in the Mythos phase. So, like, the more you can get of those in your deck that you can also use actively, like here to get clues on a big shroud location, it's probably worth your time. But still only a 10.
These ones are also nuts in the Circle Undone.
Yes.
There's, like, a specific part. I'm not going to get into it because that's not what we're here to talk about.
But yeah, they do go up in value there.
They're, like, real good.
All right, we're in the into the single digits with number 9. We got True Understanding. It's an innate skill, commits for a wild. Commit only to a skill test for an ability printed on a scenario card. If this skill test is successful, discover a clue location. So it's narrow in the application and when you can use it, but it does reward you with a clue when that happens.
Yeah, like is very strong, but you cannot actively use it to do anything.
Yes.
Like the game will tell you when you're allowed to play it, and you may use it at no other time.
Yeah. At this point now, I pretty much only play this in min because it's just like a unexpected courage that turns into a clue during the Mythos phase. But even then, I'll upgrade out of it pretty commonly into a card that actually is like higher on the list if I'm looking to do like a similar sort of thing. But it's still good, but it is very like, you want to be able to use it.
Yeah. If you got a big brain number, card's good.
Yeah.
If you don't, card's less good because you still got to pass the test.
Yeah. And you don't want to spend too many resources on it because then like it's a lot of resources to just like not get hurt but also discover a clue.
Yeah, like real strong in single player because that one clue is probably all you need.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Strong in single player does not translate to good in this game. Mostly.
Yeah. All right. Number 8, we got Inquiring Mind. This is an innate skill, commits for 3 wild, commit to a skill test only if there is a clue at your location.
Yeah. This one's just, again, like you don't have free reign on when you use it. You're going to have to burn it early or probably not get to use it at all because there are, like most scenarios in the game with state where there are no locations with clues on them. Or there are locations with clues on them, but you really don't want to go back there and you're not going to.
Yeah. And like there are times where it's like go into the final location and grab all your clues. Like grab all the clues from that location and it's active there, but at the same time other skills that are higher on the list are just going to get you more because it's like it helps you pass a test when there's a clue there and that's good, but it's not like great.
Yeah,
you know,
it is very strong at defending you from the Mythos deck in the early game. Where you almost always have a clue on your location and you just throw it at whatever brain or foot or fist test you got to make or take damage. But
yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, just kind of okay.
All right. We got number 7 here, which is Survey the Area. This is a 1 experience practice expert skill. While Survey the Area is in your hand or committed to a skill test, it gains book icons equal to your foot and foot icons equal to your book.
So these ones are further up the list than the other, like the Curiosity. Well, this particular one is because they're even more broken in the Circle Undone. No, that's not the reason. The reason is that, like, playing Yellow Investigators, a lot of the time you end up engaged with an enemy and you're like, can anybody help me? And your fighter's like, I already got 2 guys I gotta kill this turn and I'm a location away from you.
Yeah.
This card just says like 5 foot icons, count them. Like
This one it's really good in Circle Undone.
Like, it's absurdly good in that time.
Yeah, holy hell.
That particular scenario.
I was pretty soft on these cards when we were like talking about them in Edge of the Earth for the longest time. And I think like most of the ones that I've played, like the numbers on them, like especially like the Mystic one, like because it's brain and book, it's such a weird combination for them, right? But like Survey the Area, the Dauntless Spirit, the Survivor one, they have great icons on them, right? Like just like more book to pass the test if you need it, or the panic button to get over some of your problems with it. I like it a bit more than Inquiring Mind, like because they were very close. Like we were saying that this is the kind of the split, but mostly because you can use it like at any point in the game. Yeah. When the test comes up that you want to use it on.
This one also strangely is practiced, but cannot be found by Practice Makes Perfect because it does not have skill icons while it is in your deck. Yeah. Which feels like an oversight, really.
It does kind of feel like it.
Whatever. Don't matter. Yeah. Practice Makes Perfect doesn't need to be better. In fact, could probably stand to be a little bit worse.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually had the worst Practice Makes Perfect luck. I fail like every time I play it. I fail to find, and I'm like, what? I'm like, I have the numbers. It's just like it's like cursed against me lately. So I think we need to buff it. I think you need to like look for 2, commit them both, and even if you fail, return them to your hand. All right, into our top 6, we got Fae. This is a 1 experience and 8 curse skill. Commits for a Brain Wild. If a curse token is revealed in your skill test, you may return Fae to your hand when this test ends. And you might be thinking, why is this rated higher than Inquiring Mind when like it costs you an experience and kind of does the same thing? And it's because you can use it for me personally. Again, these ones like this block of 3 were very close.
Yeah, they're pretty similar.
But this one is you can use it whenever you want. And it's like that's like kind of the reason why. It's also like that's like kind of like the reason why I won.
It also has like the expanded application of like is good in a curse deck that the other ones don't. And besides that, kind of does the same job. Yeah. Also, like I see eye bleed, I upvote. Yeah. It's just cool artwork.
Is that just a knife like coming in their eye? Are they just watching themselves about to be stabbed? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here.
Spooky.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, these ones are all just kind of like, you tell us, like, Inquiring Mind was your number 6, we'd be like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, your problem, sure.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. We support it. We support it.
Yeah, this one does cost an XP, but particularly in modern Arkham, 1 XP is nothing.
Yeah, it's very easy to get.
Yeah, compared to the way that the game used to be. Even like Carcosa, you're starting to see that a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it is hard. It's hard pressed for players to want to spend experience on skill cards, right? Because like they're obviously less impactful than assets because they stay for a while. They feel less impactful than events, but really, like, skill cards are just like they're like on the same level of event. Yeah. But like I've never been upset when I've bought Fae, but I also haven't bought Fae too much. But I've never been upset when I've bought it.
Yeah, it's like Guts, only bigger.
Yeah.
And if you are playing a curse deck, this card is also great because it helps your teammates get out of the curse pile that you've dug them into. Yeah. Because you can throw it at other people's tests and, just cancel the first curse token they draw.
Yeah, and put it back in the bag and be like, I'll save this for later. It's kind of crazy, though. I mean, like, I understand why, because you don't have to pay the thing, but just, like, you look at like the kind of like the Promise of Power versus this, or Promise of Power. It's like it cancels out 2 of them, and it's the same thing here, but it's like repeatable. And I feel like Fae doesn't balance the numbers that Promise of Power gives out.
No, that's fair. Promise of Power is like also probably should be a 1-costed skill.
Yeah, it should be a level. Yeah. I think
that would be all pretty much entirely fair. Like. Sure, you can't have in your level 0 decks. You want to play it in standalone, there is a cost. Yep. You don't just include this because you're playing purple.
Yes.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you probably do because 1 XP is not a huge deal, and Promise of Power is, like, very, very good.
Yeah. All right. Number 5. Eureka. It's an innate skill. Commits for a brain, a book, or a foot. So almost a wild. If the skill test is successful during an investigation, the investigator performing this test searches the top 3 cards of his or her deck for a card, draws it, and shuffle his or her deck.
Yeah, this is a weird one because most of these skill cards that have a benefit have you do it when the performing investigator is successful. This one has the performing investigator do it if they succeed, which is a little different and opens up some more interesting decision trees on whether am I just going to throw this at myself to cantrip it and turn it into a different card, or am I going to throw it at one of the fighters tests because I think he might be able to pass one of these kinds of tests ever, and I really could use him finding some other stuff.
Yep. Yeah, he's like, I need a weapon here, so I'm gonna go for this.
Yeah, just like anybody.
A mystic looking for a spell.
It helps. It just kind of does a lot of things.
Yep. I love Eureka. I play it to scenario 8. If it's in my deck at level 0, it's there till the end because you see it in your hand and you're like, this is probably now one of my experience cards, and I get a clue in the process as well. I love it.
I think the only time I've cut this one out of a deck was draft challenge, which may or may not be all out. I don't know.
Actually, it hasn't even started. It started. It started.
Real weird. So, spoilers. I cut it because my weakness stops me from committing. One of my weaknesses stops me from committing skills.
That
this
would
was
do
one of our cards, and this was one of the only cards that does something only when committed.
Yeah.
So it got the axe, so that I didn't have to think about that card.
I also I love the design of Eureka too because it's like a worse perception because you only get one of the symbol, but it allows you to look at the top 3 to replace itself, and that's really nice. It's a nice card, but it's not as impactful as our top 4. As we're gonna go here with number 4, which is the Eye of Truth, a 5 experience skill. To my current going through the hard drive of my brain that is Arkham, not the only 5 experience. I already beat it because there's another 5. I got there. I processed the 5 experience skills. But Eye of Truth commits for 4 wild icons. It's a spell and practiced. If this skill test is on a treachery and the test is successful, add that treachery to the victory display and attach the Eye of Truth to it. While attached, the Eye of Truth contributes all of its skill icons on all tests on copies of the attached treachery.
There are a lot of these skills, it turns out, are very, very good in the Circle Undone. But this one, it's just kind of good everywhere. You hit a Rotting Remains with this on turn 3, turn 2, and everybody's just like, all right. Now we don't have to think about that one anymore.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's like it can still go wrong, but it's like
it means you drew the red token.
Yeah, and it saves so many future resources for the card in the future, which is where I think the card's really powerful, because it's every time it's used, it's you're getting more out of this 5 experience skill, and the other people that you protect without them having to spend things, it's just value, baby. I think it's just a great card. It's just really fun, really cool, and I think very fairly costed too.
Yeah, it does also affect the odds on drawing that card again. And there are some scenarios that can be slightly trivialized by this. But even if what you're doing with it is you're Crypt Jail, that sucks.
Yep.
Let's make that a 0 test for the next guy. Or somebody might have trouble getting out from underneath a Frozen in Fear.
It's really nice for a Frozen in Fear.
What if there was one less in the deck and the next one's a joke?
Yeah. I had this
actually a -1 test.
I had this once on a treachery, the treachery in Innsmouth, where you have to test multiple skills in a row, and it's just chef's kiss.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that banger card that you can hit in the Mythos decks that really makes Eye of Truth pop off.
Yeah, it is very strong. 5 XP for a one shot effect kind of has to be. If it's not really strong, then what the hell are we doing? We could just buy agency backup or something stupid like that.
All right, our number 3, we got Perception 2. It's a practiced expert skill, commits for 3 books, max 1 per skill test. If it's successful, draw a card, 2 instead if it's by 2 or more.
Yeah, you ever hit this card off practice makes perfect?
Oh boy!
You'll understand why we think it's too strong.
Yeah, it's a very powerful card, and it's like quietly powerful.
Yeah.
But I pointed this card as like the problem card in like if I had to look at like the problem card for Amanda, it would be Perception, right? Because
yeah, Amanda's not even that good though.
Yeah, she only has two. But Bryn, this gets it turns it into a 5
for one turn.
For one turn. But I mean, like it's just like one of those things where like it's so like because they wanted this to be 2s so that it worked with everyone who could splash the color, right? And because of that, it's like so well costed, and the effect is just so nice of just like drawing 2 additional cards while just like acing a test. I think like all of the upgraded versions of the cards are very powerful cards. Except for like, I mean, I think like the Unexpected Courage upgrade is good, but not on the same level of like drawing 2 cards.
It's different.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that one's really strong if you are playing a low brain or a low foot investigator, and you are just like toting this card around to throw a test that say when you fail,
just
take damage or whatever.
Soften it a bit.
It's just we fail by 2 less though.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
But Perception is sweet. It's just like it's just very good. It's so efficient. It's good. It's good. And you might be thinking, I think I know what the number 2 and 1s are, and you're 100% right.
They're the ones that are left.
Yeah, we got Deduction 2, commits for 2 book, practice expert. If it's successful, investigate a location, discover 1 additional clue at that location. 2 additional clues if you succeed by 2 or more. We're also going to talk about our number 1 here, which is Deduction 0, which is just a book. If it's successful, investigate a location, discover an additional clue at that location. We gave 1 the edge. Sorry, we gave 0 the edge because it's
availability.
Yep, availability.
It costs nothing to include in your deck. You get it from scenario 0. It's good.
Yeah. Also,
the other one is very strong, but also not like if you're playing with lower player counts, like 1 or 2. Not every location is going to have 3 clues. In fact, most will not. Which makes the like the extra part just that, like kind of extra. You don't need it. You don't necessarily even want it. But it does commit for an extra book, so if you're playing skills only, you might as well upgrade to it.
Amen. And also it's like one of those things too where that like a lot of the time it's Deduction 0. If it's in your deck, like your deck's not going to be like that much worse off if you have Deduction 0 over Deduction 2 at scenario 8. You're still going to be getting a lot of clues, and your XP went into other things that are probably saving you on actions in different ways. But they're both really good. They're the 1 and 2. Right, because like more clue is good.
Yeah, it's real tough to argue with that.
Yeah. Get ready for the Guardian one where Vicious Blow. But more damage is good.
Man, but Vicious Blow 2 is like so much better
than
Deduction 2. Versus the level 0.
Yeah, the gap is like
where we are to discuss this, but like
it's true though. It's true. Like the gap is like the amount of damage difference.
Enemies
is huge.
will have 3 or more health. It's gonna happen.
Yes,
you cannot stop that.
They don't scale with you like the way the clue values on locations.
Yeah, even when they do, they're like 5 per.
Yeah, and you're
like sick. 5 is bigger than 3.
Yeah, because Vicious Blow just gets right through it.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for the new red Vicious Blow in Hemlock where you throw the brick at the enemy. That's going to be so sick. So sick.
What have I got in my pocket? Oh, yeah. All right.
Dunk! I love it. Also, just the idea of, like, doing it to a humanoid enemy. For some reason, like, there's, like, certain weapons in the game, like Meat Cleaver, where, like, this is fucked. You know, I'm cutting this man to pieces with a Meat Cleaver. And I think also, like, pulling the brick out to hit a humanoid enemy head just, like, puts an awful taste in my mouth. I'm like, I'm a criminal. I'm, like, might be worse than this acolyte. He's just trying to, like, summon something that might not be real. I'm killing a man with a brick.
Yeah, like playing through the Paris catacombs, and he's like, "Do you want to talk about history?" And you're like,
"Fucking chuck a brick at the old man's head." Oh my god, I don't like that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this list video. We'll be back next week for another one, and sometime in the future, whenever Bryn and I are alone again, we got the next skill one coming your way. But thanks for watching. Have a good one, and as always, a GG's.